Back to the Artie Lange Show. So we're going to be, Jim, what are the plugs?
This Friday night, Governors, Levittown and Long Island. Then Saturday night, McGuire's in Bohemia, Long Island. And then next weekend, March 13th through 16th, Side Splitters in Tampa, Florida.
Cool. So you're on the road out there. Let's talk a little sports. Your Dolphins and everything. I never talked to you about your opinion of the incognito, blah, 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 everything that happened. You're a huge Dolphin fan. Give me your thoughts on all this crap.
Jonathan Martin, big baby.
I agree.
Big baby. Joe Philbin, the head coach, had no control over that locker room. He does.
So you blame Philbin on a lot of levels?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know why he skated free. I don't know why the owner,
They're
Stephen Ross.
giving him a huge pass.
Huge pass.
Yeah.
Stephen Ross is like, for some reason, loves that guy.
Right.
I don't know why. I mean, he should have just cleaned house, get rid of everybody. Get rid of Jeff Ireland, which they did.
Well,
get rid of the offensive line
I think they
coach.
like Philbin as a coach. That's the thing.
Well,
He's not even a good coach.
But that's the thing. If
You don't think
stuff,
so?
No, he's not.
If stuff is that screwed up,
A lot of people think really highly of him.
The last two seasons he's tanked. He can't control a lot. He got rid of all the veterans. He got rid of Dansby. He got rid of Reggie Bush and Jake Long.
Well,
guys that spoke out, and that's why you had no leaders in the locker room, and that's why Richie Incognito took over the locker room.
Bad move. I mean, if stuff is that screwed up, you got to blame the coach.
Well, that's not the. I mean, listen, the coach could have been behind closed doors fighting to keep those guys, but Jeff Ireland says no. We're going to let him go.
That should have come out.
Philbin wanted him.
That should have come out in the report.
Philbin didn't want anyone that talked to the press, anybody that had like some kind of opinion about the team. Which Reggie came out and said, I think we should pass more, whatever it was. Any little thing, he got rid of everybody, got rid of all those guys. Richie got the job as, head of the locker room. And then if you saw Jonathan Martin's text back and forth, there are two guys.
I know.
I've seen Artie and Kamal from the Jerky Boys bust balls like no one's business.
Both of our,
the worst things to each other.
If Kamal had a career, both of our careers would be over.
Right, worst things. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue going, Kamal goes to the press and goes, oh, look what Artie said in the text.
That's kind of what it's like.
I felt the same way. I felt
exactly
the same
what
way.
it's like.
But then I read that report that Wells put out, and it really goes into detail about the stuff. Jonathan Martin said that he felt like he was just trying to befriend Incognito to try to lessen.
They were friends.
Try to lessen the beating he was taking.
At some point, you go to the head coach.
He's trying to confront
he said he didn't feel comfortable
bravado
going to Joe
with
Philbin.
And
how do you not feel
bad.
comfortable going to the
That's
head
bad,
coach?
yeah.
Well, you don't want to be a snitch, and then of
But he
course
went to-
Well, look what he did,
He's
yeah.
the biggest snitch of all.
He
when
went
it's
to the
all said and
offensive
done.
line coach.
He handled it wrong. No doubt.
Right. He went to the offensive line coach, and the offensive line coach, he was afraid to go to Joe Philbin, the head coach. So the offensive line coach never told Philbin what was going on.
If the players are that good, you got to let the locker room justice kind of happen. And
He was
you know
fired.
better than us. I mean,
Right?
you were there.
The line coach was fired too, right?
Yeah, he was fired.
He's the guy who was making fun of a guy for being gay.
Right. No, this is exactly what happened. I followed his story closely. This is exactly what happened. The guy, the lineman that was like a practice squad lineman, came in. I think the story is he saw some movie like Les Miserables, and he came in talking about it. And the next day was the Christmas party, so he went out. So he went out and bought blow-up dolls for all the offensive linemen and got him a male blow-up doll because he saw Les Miserables. Now, is that really so bad?
No,
pretty
it's
funny.
guys,
I mean, that's a locker
right?
room
It's
prank.
guys
That's
being funny.
I know.
Trying to be funny. It's guy humor. I don't care what you say, guys. A bunch of men together. Eventually, it's going to come back to that thing.
Yeah.
And the guy that got the male blow-up dolls, not with the Dolphins anymore. He's on the Panthers. He said there was never a problem. I wasn't offended. I'm not gay. There was no problem with the Dolphin locker room at all. It was funny. It's just a bunch of guys hanging out.
Now, if you knew the guy was gay and struggling with it, doing that's an evil thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, but guys busting chops, and you're sure he's not gay, and like that is come on.
Now, Richie
That's what men
Incognito,
do.
look, he's he's a meathead, but he got blindsided on this whole thing. He had no idea. If you saw this, Jonathan Martin was saying just his worst stuff back to him in the text.
Yeah.
All the texts were out there.
No one's saying Incognito's some genius, but I'm just saying in this situation, he was wrongly busted over.
Listen,
Jonathan Martin's got a lot of
Incognito-
mental problems too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, well, when you
on
read the
record.
report, there's a lot in there that I'm sure he didn't want
He
out.
went right to a psych ward,
I
right?
know, and Richie was the one who would get him off the couch when he was bummed out. He wasn't playing well. He's a second-round pick who was basically a bust who got moved to left tackle when they got rid of Jake Long, so he had a big responsibility. He wasn't playing well, and Richie was the one getting him off the couch, go, dude, come on out. I'm picking you up. We're going to go out. We're going to have some drinks or whatever. He was the one there for him because he was afraid of his mental health.
Listen, I mean, that's the way Incognito looked at it. I can tell you that I had an experience similar with, a guy on my team saying, hey, I'm going to come pick you up. We're going out. I didn't want to be going out. This was a guy who just wanted to go out himself. So,
Right.
So he's forcing me to come along
Right.
to babysit him. I mean, so that you never know the
Yeah, you're right.
situation. We'll never really know the total
Well, I
situation.
think we know
but
a lot of it. We know there's a lot of it that we know. I mean, because those texts are pretty detailed.
I went from thinking Jonathan Martin was the biggest jerk in the world, the biggest, loser snitch, to feeling compassion for him.
Well,
and
let's take a
thinking that
break
he's
so
a
we
play-
have some time at the
he
end
could be
to
a
talk,
player.
Yeah.
a little bit more about it. Quick break, back into it. Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. The great Jim Florentine is here, and he'll be all over Long Island coming up. What are the gigs again?
This Friday night, Governor's, Levittown, Long Island. Saturday night, McGuire's in Bohemian. I know you're on in Tampa, so I'm there next weekend.
Yeah, Tampa.
Side
Tampa's
Splitters, March 13th through 16th.
good club.
Yeah.
Tampa's a good market for us. I think we're number one in Tampa. It's fun. Do you still talk to Bubba at all?
I haven't in a while, but I'll probably go on a show when
Try
I
to
go
go
down
on
there.
there. Yeah, his show's great as ever, and Bubba's doing good. Yeah, it really is radio. Really, it's funny. Since Howard went to Sirius, like the last few years, it took a while. It was a big mo, but think about how much radio has changed since we first met and started doing the Stern Show 12 years ago. It's changed in an insane way. Yeah, podcasts and blah blah blah.
You used to be able to get in town on Thursday morning, sold 50 tickets for 6 shows, and by Friday morning, doing 3 different radio shows, big local morning shows. Even when Howard was on regular radio,
Right.
you would have 500 tickets sold because local radio was that powerful. Now there's a guy, Johnny Dare in Kansas City, Preston and Steve in Philly,
A couple guys who are
There's
good.
There's
Yeah.
a few guys on regular radio that could still sell you some tickets, but.
Wow.
Other than that, yeah, you got to do it on podcast. I do a podcast. I got a lot of people from my
Podcast
podcast.
fans go to stand-up shows.
Yes.
They do, yeah.
Because they get the podcast for free. It's basically, an hour or whatever your podcast is. And they know they get it for free and it's free content. So they go, all right, I got to at least come, support him when he comes to
Right.
the comedy club. And that's what they do.
Yeah,
So
they're
it's
loyal.
great.
They're loyal.
Totally loyal.
I know it's one of the big ones, but I just did Marin's when I was in L.A., WTF for the book, and I got a bigger response from doing Marin than Conan or any of the network shows.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
I did Marin's too. Besides, I'd say Stern, that was the biggest response I ever got.
Yeah, Howard
doing
still
on radio.
puts asses in seats no matter what. But you got but what a setup Marin has, right? It's not really his garage. It's this little room overlooking L.A. It's a cool area.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Well, Handy says yours is great too.
Yeah, I just do a rant every week, about different
It's
things.
really funny. It's really good.
I
I don't,
did,
I don't listen as much as I want.
As soon as the NFL came out, said they're thinking about penalizing, guys using the N-word on the field. I did an hour on that.
Okay, again, it's
Really? By yourself?
Yeah, by myself. Yeah,
Jeez.
just how ridiculous it is.
Knowing him, I
Yeah.
believe it, but it
amazing.
is ridiculous. I mean, it's becoming women are taking over everything, or not even women mentality. It's just crazy.
They opened up the game to everybody, and that's the problem. That's why every football story makes huge news because you're trying to get women to watch the game.
It's America.
with the whole month
When
of
right.
pink stuff with the breast cancer
pushing
awareness
it,
and the garbage they put on the halftime shows.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Nah,
So women watch. Meanwhile, they don't because they just get jealous the way the
There's
girl
gotta
looks,
be
and then
a
they
neg-
walk away from the TV.
There's got to be a negative voice. Listen, Richard Rawlings, thanks so much. Michael Acosta, thank you, and the great Jim Florentine. Thanks, brother.
Thanks, and I appreciate you guys not bullying me today.
Hey, Mike, you wuss.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.